Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Drinks Entrees. My name is James.
My name is Kenny.
Shante.
I'm Emunique.
I'm Dominique.
Big J, a.k.a. Big Baller, Big Dodo.
And we bringing casual conversation to life.
All right, welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for coming to the show. You know, we're glad to have you guys on here. So we do a little happy hour thing, so we just talk about general conversation. So something that interested me this week was the Gayle King and Lisa Leslie's interview, and she talked about Kobe Bryant's situation and his situation dealing with sexual abuse. So because it's a sensitive subject, and I know it's probably more sensitive to the women, and say don't want to be chauvinistic about it, but I'm just thinking that. Dominique, I'm gonna come to you first. What was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was wrong. I felt like Kobe has been around forever, and she had her time to say that. He definitely was dismissed of the charges. He apologized. He paid his debt. In the tragic death, it shouldn't have been brought up. I feel like it was definitely wrong.
Okay, Emunique?
I do definitely feel like it was the wrong timing. If you would have felt that way, then you should have expressed that the years that you did before.
Okay.
I feel like when somebody's family is grieving, I mean, you're talking about somebody that lost their husband and their child at the same time. That was not the appropriate time. It doesn't matter, especially with Gayle and Oprah Winfrey being as prominent as they are in the Black community. I feel like this was a time that we should have actually came together, and for you to even bring that up. And then what got me was the fact that she came back and said that she didn't really realize what she said. And I'm like, but you did realize what you said. If you felt a certain type of way about it, that's fine. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion and feelings, but that just wasn't the time or the place to bring that up.
Shante, how about you?
Totally agree. It's a time and place for everything. I think that her backlash of coming from everyone else is totally appropriate, but I think we're giving her too much attention. Yep. I think people make mistakes, and she made a huge one, and she did it at the wrong time in her career as well. So I think the more attention we get, that's exactly what she wanted in a sense. Maybe not for the negative attention, but she wanted attention.
Okay, any attention is good attention, I guess. So.
I agree with that.
Good, we're gonna come to you.
A.k.a. y'all ready? Everybody at the table ready?
We're going to come back.
Let's do it like
Okay,
that.
let's go on. Let me hear what you guys
Do it
think.
like that. It's 100% good. It was 100% on time. It's 100% what she should have did. She's a reporter. She's not there to eulogize. She's not there to gain understanding. She's not there to console. She did what she was supposed to do. It's crazy how everybody speak about the Mamba mentality. I believe she displayed it. She took her job, she took the risk, and she asked the question. There was nothing wrong with that. She didn't make up nothing. She didn't do no lying. She simply asked her a question that she wanted to know the answer to. We can say time sensitive. We can say that's not right for the family. That has nothing to do with her job as a reporter, as her job title, as the interviewer. She asked the correct question, and that's what she done. She did 100% what she was supposed to do, Mamba mentality.
Okay, Kenny, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, if she gonna do it with him, I'm like this. Be even across the board. You're gonna do it with Kobe, do it with Harvey Weinstein, do it with all the other, prominent. It seems like most of the people that she attacked is the people that look like me. So I felt as though she was wrong. I felt as though the timing was off. She had a whole 16 years to talk to Kobe about that, if that was the story.
I guess I hear what everybody's saying as well. I was torn between it. Like I said, I feel the same way that she was wrong in the sense of bringing it up at that time. I do understand where he's coming from. She's doing a job. She has a job to do. Also, I looked at it from this standpoint because I know a couple people who have been sexually abused. Are we downplaying sexual abuse? You know what I mean? Because it's a part of his legacy. So she asked a question about it in the sense of, hey, about that situation, and first thing she asked Lisa Leslie, what do you think about it? And Lisa Leslie's like, nah, I never seen him in that light. She's like, you would never see him in that way because he never pretty much approached you that kind of way.
So where's the artistic integrity at?
Or better yet, why did it have to be now? So meaning,
Why not now?
I say ask all the questions you want, but if it's a part of his life, did we touch on all parts of his life, or did we just touch on some parts of his life?
I don't know. Hold up.
In that interview.
Hold up. I don't know because the interview came out initially. They said
They took bits and
they
pieces.
took bits and pieces and put that out there. And before we get, I want to hear from you because I know you said you had something to say, and I think you want to.
My thing is, I agree with what you're saying as her, being a reporter. It was her delivery. Because it seemed like she was pushing her to say something that she felt wasn't true. And she kept going back at it like, no, you wouldn't see that because you his friend. But are you really going to be able to notice something like that? Because once she said, no, he was a great person, I never seen that, she should have left it alone. But she didn't. She kept pushing, and she kept pushing until Lisa Leslie said the media needs to just let this go.
Okay, I can go with that.
But where's the when I say integrity, I'm like, we didn't even put this man in the ground yet, nor his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? It's the way that he died.
Okay, so
where the integrity comes in play.
Okay, but with integrity, I mean, like I said, that's just a part of that's a part of all that when it comes to him. You know what I mean? Like even when you go, and I don't want to get all away off topic, but if you getting buried and you was a drug dealer and that's just who you are. Like so, if you was going on the ground, regardless.
Some reporters push back though.
But how is one moment who he is?
What needs
I think that's my
No,
question.
but I don't think
It's
nobody
just a
summed
moment.
them up. I don't think nobody summed them up as one moment. But we gotta understand what they took from that and what they made it look like as well.
Yeah.
They broke that interview down, y'all, and they publicized that part.
Well,
Like
someone
she
from the
said,
network
so,
put it out there,
which is
so
true.
they perceived it as being
Like
negative, and that the world would not accept
Thank
it the
you.
way it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't like she just browbeat his, you know what I'm saying? It was totally irrelevant to everything of his life. No, but this was a topic. She did bring it up, and she's not wrong for doing it. That was her job. I mean, a lot of people have made their career off taking risks. Why can't she? Get out of here.
So
We're
I'm gonna
talking
let you have the
about
last.
people
I'm
that
gonna let
are
you
in
have the
a
last word on that.
position of power that is phenomenal. I mean, Oprah Winfrey is one of the richest women ever. And when you bring something up like that, it becomes sensitive because not only are you talking about somebody that has such an impact on everybody that's in the sports field, but you're talking about a black community. I understand that he had a job to do and she has a job to do, but it's just the timing with me. It's the timing.
Okay.
It's the timing. I mean, I'm not saying that she was wrong for doing what it is that she did because at the end of the day, that's her job. That's her job. If you had a job and you had a family to care for, what would you do? You would ask the questions that want answers.
And it wasn't like she asked anybody.
And then she's, like I said, they're prominent people. So you take pictures with the opposite race that rape women and children every single day. This is not something that just came up. It happens every single day. So when we see pictures of you with sexual abusers, not just to women, to children, and you never thought once to even interview them or say anything to them. But then here's this man that has a prominent, he's prominent in the black community. Everybody knows him.
I know we can hold up. I know we can talk about this all night. I know we can talk about this all night, but we do have to move on. But I definitely.
Because there's kids involved too.
Yeah, but
exactly.
They old enough to see it.
I understand. Like I said,
be respectful.
Right, be respectful. I got it. So at the end of the day,
I don't think it was not respectful.
Okay, so let's go around the board. Hold on.
That's right. I don't think it was respectful.
All right, so let's go around. Unique, what is your thoughts? You saying that was wrong?
I'm saying that it was wrong timing. She did her
wrong
job,
timing.
okay, but it was just wrong timing.
Her delivery was wrong.
Delivery wrong, Pitt.
She was right for what she was doing. She did her job, and she shouldn't be criticized.
Got you. I'm kind of torn between the two. I think, like I said, timing, I get it, and I understand that. Part of the legacy, but, not downplaying sexual abuse, because people get it all the time. It's a lot. So, I'm a little on the fence about it, Kenny.
I'm just being as though you being in the industry long enough as Gail King, she could push back and say, nah, we got kids. This man ain't even in the ground. There's too much stuff going on right now.
Totally agree.
Okay.
Use your title for the right purposes and just say, I will do this, but just not now.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's moving on. Like I said, Shante, first round is on you. Okay.
Drinks it on, ladies and gentlemen. Way to start it off. There you go. That's how you start it off.
Happy hour right there.
Start it off like this.
Shante, pick the first round's on you. One question, and then pass it to myself and Kenny, and then he'll read it. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
What's on mine? All right.
So this is the first round.
Should women initiate sex with her partner, or should it be the man's job?
Since you made that face, we're gonna come to you first. Dominique.
It can go both ways. It shouldn't be one-sided at all.
What do you think?
I mean, I kind of agree with her. Like, I think, no, I do agree with you. I do like that. That's a politically correct answer. Her answer is the woman should initiate it. It's too much going on here where the men are being put in predicaments and situations where we're looking at being bullies. All we want is sex. All we want to do is be known as sexual demons. How about we back up a little bit and allow you? Come on now. Can I talk when I'm talking? I appreciate that. I listen. I appreciate that. For now, so I think it's bad. We need to want to. I want to be wanted too. I want you to come. I'm sick of the other way. It's 2020, y'all. Come to me. You initiate. Come on, let's go to that. Come on. Give me that.
Okay, cool. Emunique.
I 100% agree with it should be 50-50.
Okay.
I mean, everybody are sexual beings, period. And, if you have somebody that you're attracted to or you're dating and you want to fuck, then do that shit. Like, it shouldn't be no in between. It's like, come home, he come home, and you got on your little sexual lingerie, baking cookies and shit. Do that. Like, I feel like it should be consensual. If you want somebody, then you need to show that.
Okay.
If they want you, they need to show that.
Totally agree, both sides.
Right.
Whoever wants it in the moment, but I also think you got to be aware of who's initiating more or less, so that you can also meet your partner where they are.
Exactly.
Yeah, 50-50.
Listen, I don't care. Like, I feel like I'm with Pitt. Like, women should initiate more a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, we want to be wanted too. Like, at the end of the day, if I come in the house every time or I get it started every time, I'm gonna feel like, damn, like, do you want it? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like a quickie or we just laying in bed or something. I want you to, we sitting there watching a movie and we having a good time. I want you to start it. Get it going.
That goes back to what she said.
But I'm just saying, it's a lot of times, well, I know in my relationships or in most of the people I've talked to before, they say that the men kind of starts it more than the women.
No, shit. If I want it, then I want it. Like,
right. Don't disagree too quick.
But could the answer to this question depend on the relationship?
Absolutely, the person. It depends on the person.
I have a freak. I mean,
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think no matter what your status is, it's like you said, everybody wants to feel wanted.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to feel appreciated. So even if you are the aggressor, like naturally your personality is just like more sexually driven, at some point you're going to feel like if the relationship lasts a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, at some point you're going to want your woman to come to you with that same energy that you constantly come to her.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's take it one level deeper real quick. Sex for a woman is all day.
Say more.
Sex for a woman starts in the morning. It's for a man, when we mention sex, I'm talking about the act.
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about. See, sex for a woman is way deeper than that. It's a whole day getting, well, maybe y'all might be a little different. No, I'm saying.
I understand exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying it one step deeper. It's all day for a woman. You see what I'm trying to say?
So why you say it's all day for a woman, Pitt?
Because it starts in the morning. How we wake up, how we interact, your calling, your embracing, your love, your text that you send. That's sex all day for a woman. That's why we don't get it at night, because we ain't performing in the morning.
So pretty much what you're saying is, in order for us to get that female to jump our bones when we want it, we have to court and court and court.
Come on, James. Come on, kid. Come on, kid. Shante. Come on. That's for y'all. Y'all should be mad. That's for y'all.
No, I'm just saying. So are you saying that? So what you're saying is we have to court that morning to make sure that at night we get what we want, because we try to make y'all feel special.
Because what you're doing
when you
is
see me.
But to
When you see me,
just to interrupt that thought, I do feel like there are moments where women have, I guess, more of a man mentality, where it's like, fuck what's going on.
Yes.
I don't care what you said to me all day. This is what I want, and I'm gonna go after it. And you better
Trust
provide
me,
it.
girl. Give me that.
Okay. I'm just saying, that's why I was asking. I like how you went deep into that conversation, because at the end of the day, like I said, I do think sometimes it's one of those situations where it's wanted, but it's like I'm waiting on him to make the move. So I don't think it should be like that. I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be like, if you want it, you see me, whenever it is. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I think it's 50-50. You think it's 50-50?
No,
he said
the woman
should do more.
The woman should do more.
I did say that too. I think the woman should go. You say it's 50-50.
50-50.
50-50. And you're saying 50-50 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a strong 50-50.
Yeah.
60-40 on some days, 70-30
Exactly.
with the man and
So
woman on
that's
either
before we
side.
move on. Let me ask this question though. If he wasn't coming on to you as much as you thought he was, would you think he was cheating, or would you think it was something else going on? Would you that's what I want to know.
You
Like,
can't always assume it's cheating.
I'm just asking, dude.
I like that.
Yeah.
You
I
can't.
say self-reflect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Self-reflect on where you
And
are.
I'm asking this to the women.
You know, I would also ask him, like, what is going on in your daily life? Because sometimes, men, you go through a lot. You do. You have to carry the stresses of your family. You have to carry the stress of taking care of everybody. And that's understandable. But if you are in tune with your woman, the one that loves you, the one that lays with you at night and loves you and consoles you, you should be able to express that.
Mm-hmm.
I have personally been in a relationship with a man where he had a lot going on, but he couldn't express that to me. So when it came down to the sexual aspect of it, it really wasn't happening. It was like a void there because he could not separate what he was going through with our relationship.
Okay.
So sometimes you just need to be in tune with what's going on with your man.
I was
You know,
saying,
just ask him, like, what's
conversation,
up? Why you acting like
communication
that?
concept. And I was just asking because I know that sometimes, we as men sometimes get tired as well. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, we have a long day, this, that, and the third, and sometimes we want to come home and we want to be comfortable.
Right.
You come home to us, you come home to your significant other, and you're having a bad day. She should know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if she trying to jump your boat, like, baby, I need a minute.
That's what.
What's going on? Like, why you acting like that?
That's why I say if sex was happening all day, that would be known.
Okay. Okay.
That was starting up. See, if we were starting off,
I
but
agree with
that was
If
happening
your
all
partner
day,
is off,
you would know.
Yeah. But
we
also,
know.
If
but
your
the
partner is
self-
off, you know.
Agreed.
You know.
Totally agree.
Yeah,
you
you
said
know.
really self-reflecting on, like, what is it that he went through? What is it that I didn't do mentally? Because I think it's mental stimulation on both ends.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think men
big.
admit it.
Mental,
but,
no,
like,
but it is though.
if I'm pouring into you
Mental
all day
stimulation
as a
is
man,
big.
like, he's going to give me back
That
that
is
same
good.
energy by the time we get home. So I truly think, okay.
Good with the mental stimulation.
Cool. I appreciate that. Moving on to the second round.
That's good
Second
with the mental
round.
stimulation. She's good.
Second round on you, Pitt. Second round on you, man. Pick questions.
Okay. You want me to read it out?
I'll give you
Okay.
Was it unison? It was like,
Fast action waiting.
How y'all drinks flowing? Y'all good over here?
Great.
Let me just ask, you know what I'm saying, since it is bar drinks and entrees. By the way, we do got some chicken over there if y'all a little hungry.
Yeah, we
You know
bought
what
some
I'm saying?
entrees this time.
We have entrees.
We had a guest on the first episode that was like,
upset about not having no entrees here.
he said, we call entrees entrees. Well, what the fuck
The
are
entrees at, which I understood. So, this, what you drinking on over there?
I'm tequila.
What kind?
1500.
All right, what you?
Same thing.
You on Jameson?
I'm on the Jameson too.
I'm drinking some wine, but I'm about to switch real quick.
Kenny,
Oh,
Kenny.
that's what you were
Okay, Kenny's classy
That's
today.
why he's singing low.
I wanted to know.
That's
if
why
it
all
was.
this ass is so philosophy. It's philosophy of what he's doing.
He's like,
I wonder when you was coming, nigga. This nigga tripping.
What you sipping on over there?
Vodka Tito's.
Okay, Tito's vodka. All right, cool. So, okay, moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question, man. Should men be more emotional or show more emotions than they do?
It depends on the man.
What does that mean to you? What you mean?
Some
it
men
depends
show
on the
enough
man?
emotion.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
Generally, show more. I'm going with show more.
Yeah.
You want them to show more emotion?
Meaning more, not of the same emotion.
Okay.
so
so
Shante, since you took it to that show more emotions, and I'm gonna get back to you, Dominique. You saying show more emotions? What are you talking about when you say show more emotions and not the same emotion?
Absolutely. So I think men are really good at showing an emotion they're comfortable with. When they're happy, they're happy. When they're sexual, they're sexual. But when they're sad, what does that look like? When they're mad, what does that look like? So I think when we say more, I don't want more of like, oh, when we're good, we're good. I wanted more meaning go across the spectrum of emotions. when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling overworked, when you feel like the world is against you, are you able to express and articulate those same emotions? So I wouldn't necessarily say more. I would say a spectrum of emotions. I want a spectrum.
Because all of the emotions translate to the same face.
Yeah, exactly.
It does.
So
It does. That
I'm
is
gonna
absolutely
okay.
right.
So what do you mean by that, Dominique?
So when you're angry, you have the same numb face.
Yep.
When you're sad, you have the same numb face.
Yeah.
When you're happy, you look happy.
Yeah.
But all the other emotions all look like the same numb face. There's no, I look as mad as fuck because I'm that mad. It's just, I'm good.
To answer to that, from a man perspective, there's a such thing called he-motions. It's not emotions, it's he-motions. He-motions are men emotions expressed by men that only men can understand. What I'm trying to tell you is that a lot of times you say we don't show a spectrum of emotions. It's because you box us in. We were taught not to show a spectrum of emotions. As a man, you were taught to handle your business, get by. You don't cry, you don't whine, you don't talk, you don't worry. So we don't know how to open up to these emotions that you're talking about saying. This is how we. This is called he emotions. A man was prioritized and set up to be blank face, no matter what. We
never let him see you sweat.
Never let him see you sweat.
The man was
They
trained.
call it.
Hold up.
They call it shut down.
Okay, so hold on.
They say we shut down. It's not shut down.
We're not shutting down.
Shut down. Okay, Kenny, we gonna get to you. Because you look like you ready to speak on this. You look like you have something you want to say.
You're
Are dealing.
You sick.
My bad.
Go ahead.
I know that everybody has social media, right?
Yeah.
You see these memes where they say, "Be your man's peace."
Okay.
Okay? If you are your man's peace, and I even speak upon this when it comes to my girlfriend, because she like y'all. But
Oh, so you're a lesbian?
yes, I'm a lesbian.
You know, on with it.
Oh, bisexual.
But no, I'm a full blown.
Okay, full blown.
Full blown lesbian.
full entire.
But when you talk about being your man's
Last question. I mean, because
Yeah, so I got one more after
No,
you.
no, last question. No, listen. Yeah. But listen, let me ask you a question. But listen, I just want to know, like, never going back?
Never going back.
Going married.
I'm going to marry this
Absolutely.
girl.
What about Jesus?
No.
Jesus sprinkle.
No.
Go ahead. Go do your thing now. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, you hear these men, you see these memes on social media about being your man's peace. When you are meant for somebody, and this is just coming from a different perspective.
Okay.
When you are meant for somebody, you can feel the vibrations of when somebody is on, when they're doing their thing, when somebody is off, and when they're doing their thing. When you
What you mean by on, doing that thing, and off?
when you are on and you're good,
Mm-hmm.
that means you're good. Like like she said, you walk around, you happy, you can see that you happy. But when you walking around here with that man face that y'all say that y'all have, because y'all gotta take on the world, he-motions. There we go. When you're talking about he-motions, you're already in tune with that. So what I'm saying is, when you are in tune with your partner, you know when something is up and when it is not. We're talking about the feelings of a man. Okay. If you are a woman that is in tune with your man's feelings, you already know what's going on. Your woman should be your safe place. Y'all do the memes all the time. I'm not talking about y'all in general, but everybody talks about the memes all the time where you be his peace. You come to him and you say, "Hey, yo, boo, what's up? What's going on with you?" And whether, what they've taught us about men, how they need to keep everything in and be the man in the house, you're not supposed to cry and stuff. That's the type of stuff that you're supposed to do with your woman. If you cannot get to that low point with the woman that you are with, then you need to reconsider your whole entire relationship. Because I know for a fact, for the guys that I have dated, if you cannot come to me and say, babe, I am broken, I am torn up, my family is coming to me left and right asking for money, the kids ain't acting right, sometimes you come home and you hot and cold, you on and off, you doing this, you doing that, you yelling, and then you come back to me talking about, oh baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that because I'm emotional. If you cannot say that to me, then what purpose am I serving to you? I am supposed to be that backbone. I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to uplift you and let you know that you are that king. You are the one. You are the supporter of this house. You are the one that I love. You are the one that's going to make sure that this family is good. If you cannot do that to me, then what is my purpose as your queen?
Got you.
Nah,
Hold on. Let
What is
Kenny.
my
Go
purpose?
ahead, Kenny. No.
I'm just saying, I just think that we're wired differently when we going through shit. Like, it may look like to y'all we shutting down, but I just think, like, I wasn't taught to, like, cry and lay on my woman's shoulder and tell her everything that's going on. I was taught to man up and fix my situation. That's just the way we was raised. I mean, it may not seem right, but
right. And like I said, I can attest to the same thing that they're saying. When you coming up in this world, and then on the flip side, we black, man, so it's different for us. We African American, so we already behind the 8 ball. That's number one. So it ain't like you said. We told like growing up. Like I've known him since I was 12. I've known him since I was 13. It wasn't no crying. It wasn't no, it was, stop crying. Are you a man or you a mouse? You know what I mean? Toughen up. You ain't got to cry. Get through it. It is what it is. Keep moving. Keep pushing. Anytime you talk to a man, the first thing they say to you, I'm good. I'm good. Like, that's how it's been portrayed to us. So for us to turn around and then open up to some things, and then the thing about it is, I will say this as well, I've heard a lot of women say, they don't want an emotional man. I've heard it, and I'm not saying this, and I don't want to box y'all in, and I don't want to put y'all in, I don't want to box y'all in, and I don't want to, hold on.
I wasn't going to.
You wasn't going to?
Okay. So let me say this. Okay, before we follow up, let me say this. I've heard this. Yo, I couldn't deal with him no more because he's so emotional.
Then that's
Hold
not your
up,
queen.
hear me out. He said I'm too emotional. I don't want an emotional man. And it's like, okay, so you don't want me to be emotional. And then on the flip side, I got to hold down the family. Like you said, if I got to hold down this family, I don't have time. And I don't mind sometimes we think I don't have time to show that I'm hurting. I don't have time to show that I'm bruised. I don't have time to show that I'm scared. Because at the end of the day, like for example, even in movies, y'all remember the movie John Q, right? Mm-hmm. Then hold on, hear me out before we even go there. Y'all remember the movie John Q?
I think we all got a fight back.
Yeah, but listen, let me go somewhere. Let me go somewhere real quick. John Q, y'all remember the movie? His son needed a heart transplant. And what she pressed him. Listen.
She did.
Listen. She said she put the press on him. So now he got the full court press on him.
Yeah.
He got the same, he's going through the same emotions as his wife is going through right now. But she said, fix it. Fix it. That's what she told him, do it. So now he don't have the chance to go in this little corner and cry. He got to come up with a solution, a plan to fix that.
Just to piggyback on him real quick, and I'm going to let you know, Shante, is that, a lot of times y'all trying to undo what a person was with what was embedded in us from birth. A lot of times the woman was raised out of love where the man was raised out of survival. Two totally different reasons. I'm saying, but that you have to allow a man processes internally. We don't process externally. So that's why a lot of times we listen to what you say, we go to our cave and process, then we come back later. And then we say, oh, remember when you told me? And then we're ready to speak. If we're quiet, it's not that we're not listening. A lot of times it's really setting in. Because a man processes internally. He doesn't process externally. So see, what you're looking for, you're not going to see. And the thing is, if you want me to come to you with these things, you said it's not your queen, and come to me and tell that, you got to present that platform for me to walk on. I'm not going to open up to a place I'm not safe in.
But if you...
Hold on.
You see what I'm trying to tell you?
Shante, go ahead, and then Dominique, you next.
So I totally agree with emotions. I do think that is levels to it. I understand the aspect of like be your man's piece, but I also think men need to come with a certain level of peace because not all women are also equipped to kind of manage it themselves. Like their own upbringing may have impacted how they respond to men as well. So I think I'm agreeing with you, but I also think people think trust is just like, oh, cheating and that's it. Yeah. No, trust also comes with emotions. Do you trust to tell me when you're sad? And I think it's a process.
It's not.
It's not going to be day 1, year 1, day 2, year 2. Like it's a process.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Timing.
I'm coming back.
That was real cute. I back you 100%. So I'm somebody that does not want somebody emotional. Like if you are too emotional, I actually want you to stay away from me.
That's what I'm saying.
I bring enough emotions for the both of us where I actually don't want you to be emotional. I actually want you to come with your level of peace so that your peace weighs on me and then my peace can come to the table too. So I just think it's a process of trust in order for emotions to evolve.
Amen.
Yeah.
So Dominique, coming to you.
That was good.
Yeah, Shante.
The part that you heard.
Yeah. No, real talk.
The one that you didn't
Hold on. Dominique, go ahead. Hold on, y'all. Let Dominique go.
This is my question. What about the woman that was raised by the man who told her not to show emotions and have the same mentality as the man? Do you expect her to show the man motions or he motions?
Ooh, that's good.
That's a good question.
There are a lot of women
Tough. That's like
raised them on emotions, who taught them to think like a man. So how does that correspond if it's the same thing but in a woman's life?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let y'all speak.
And then my final question. Absolutely, because that's me. I'm just saying.
My final question is, when do we break bad traditions and old generations? That's it.
You're right, but at the end of the day,
because that's what we were taught. Why do we have to give that cycle to our sons?
So I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong and everything like that. I understand what you're saying. She's lacking emotions, then she need to find that peace as well. Like I'm not saying that we shouldn't show emotions, and the reason why I said it, and I'm gonna bring it to my fellas.
No, but I'm saying, is it justifiable? Because it's just you make emotions made it justifiable for.
So
a
now
man.
you got your she motions. It is what it is.
So is she motions justifiable for a woman? Is what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
Why is it not?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
Kenny, go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, because I definitely want to hear his answer.
No, Kenny. Hold up, Kenny. Let me hear Kenny, because Kenny hasn't said anything.
No, I just think like if I just think like if the ship is about to crash and I'm trying to fix it, it's my job to keep my kids and my wife comfortable without knowing what's happening. I'm gonna fix it. I don't want her to stress. Let me fix it. That's my job.
Women
That's
do a better job at that than men. Sorry, but like you guys unravel so quickly because you can't manage your emotions, whereas we've been managing emotions for God knows where. And so we're able to actually navigate the boat much better than you because you're just trying to drive the boat. I'm trying to drive the boat, make sure you stay alive, make sure my kids are still on the boat.
So you're saying that. So you're saying that. So what you're saying is that. Because I don't manage my emotions well, I can't save my family.
I believe that if you can't manage your emotions, you're not able to focus as much as I can. I believe that if you operate less on emotion, that you are able to function better.
But then they say women are more emotional than men.
No, because
so if you operate on emotion,
I got you. This is what she's saying.
I'm quiet.
When you are at your weakest point, your woman, she's at an even weaker point because now she's trying to pick you up, sustain the family while holding herself up because you don't want to share your emotions, and we feeling like, what the fuck can I do to fix this?
Okay, cool. We got to move on. But Pitt, I know you had something to say real quick.
I can't share what you're willing to not understand. A lot of times, if you don't understand, I mean, it can be past what we've been through, what we know what's going on. Here's the thing: if a man does open up, and you use that later on to fight against me, I will never open up again. So that's what happens. That's what happens. That's the reason. That's what's going on.
That's reciprocal though.
But
Because women share very intimate moments with men.
and it comes right back.
And if a woman,
So hold on. Give me that. Don't
that
sounded good.
And I go back to the point.
All that sounded good.
I go back to the point of when you found your queen.
Okay.
You never, ever have to go through anything in this life by yourself. If you cannot trust the woman that you are with your deepest, darkest secrets, your deepest, darkest thoughts, your deepest, darkest whatever it may be, then that's not the woman for you. The marriage of a man and a woman, whatever it is, that man, woman, man, whatever. It is about unity.
Gotcha.
Unity. If you cannot come to me and say, hey babe, I'm really hurt. If you cannot trust her, for real, and you talk about, women not being able to, handle or take all the things that men go through or whatever, if you cannot come to me and say, hey, like, I'm really fucking broken, then what are you in the relationship for?
You're right.
What are you in the relationship for? It's an equal thing. If you are down, I'm up. If I'm down, you're up. If you are up, I'm down. If I'm down, you're up. That's how it always should be.
We got it definitely.
If not, but that's how it always should be.
Got you. We got it.
I know.
We can talk all day.
I know.
We gotta move on.
I know.
Now, one thing I will say about, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then we're gonna move on to the next question. But one thing I will say about the emotion thing, I do think this about men. I do think we need more. Men need to show more emotions and need to lean on our brothers a little more. You do have a lot of women that do sister circles, book clubs, things like that, where they lean on each other. I don't think we have enough social clubs and opportunities. So what I'm saying is, I'm gonna let you say that about it. But some things that we need to do, I think, as men, I do think we need to do a situation where we need to have more of a social club that we have, just like you guys have your sister circles and your book clubs. So with that being said, Pitt, go ahead and
I'm talking to the brothers that gotta open up to y'all. It's a men's Monday that I'm having. This segue right what he's doing, and it's a men's fellowship that we're gonna be doing just for men, to say, like you say, for us to grow and to bond more and to deal with our emotions. Platform where we can open up and things of that nature, become the men that we're called to be, to meet these ladies where they are. So that's gonna be something I'm gonna be doing starting Monday. I know y'all are part of my man back here, got a couple people. We're gonna get into it, y'all. We're gonna open it up, man. We're gonna incorporate the word and we're gonna become better men. Men's Monday, no man left behind.
So, and I'm also in a group that's on Facebook called Mentality. Mentality that's a capital M, capital E, capital N. It's by my man Frenchie Johnson, and we're a part of it. Definitely want to get y'all in the group as well as a Facebook group, just so we can keep uplifting our brothers. Because, like I said, we don't have an outlet as much as you guys do to help us get through things. Because, like we said at the beginning, most men, they always say they're good when they're not. That's always our statement.
Break the cycle.
So with that being said, like I said, we got to move on to the last question. It's on you.
We're gonna do a last call.
Last call. Listen, last call, everybody, man. Appreciate y'all. Last call. Yeah.
Don't drink all of that.
Pick the last question.
I gotta make it good, girl. Make it good.
I gotta give it a thumbs down.
Oh, Lord.
What is one thing you find attractive that you didn't 10 years ago when it comes to the opposite sex? Before we start, hold up. I'm gonna start with the males. We let y'all go on all the questions, so I'm gonna start with the males. So Pitt, coming to you first. What is one thing you find attractive that you didn't 10 years ago when it comes to the opposite sex?
Attitude.
So speak on that.
Is the new beauty for me. I mean, God, let's talk. Let's
go
talk.
Go ahead.
ugly girls look way attractive because they're open, they're nice. Real talk. They can be, but y'all be like, why is he with her? She is nice. She is understanding. She is loving. You know, but she's ugly. But the attitude on her is good. I believe your attitude will determine your altitude. I mean, attitude is everything around a person. How you think, how you grow, how you ingratiate another person, how you love on one another. I don't care about what you look like. I don't care about your cheese and your feet. All that. We need that to work because I ain't going to work if you ain't good. But at the same time, but at the same time, with that being said, I realize now I put a lot more ownership on your inner, your attitude, your heart, the person that you are at your core. That's what matters.
So what was it 10 years ago that you put ownership on and why?
Marriage. And it,
no, okay. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, what made you, what was it that you thought about and you was like, yeah, I need, go ahead.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay.
The booty. I don't want to say it, the booty.
Booty, go ahead.
The blessing.
No, that's fine.
The blessing.
Okay. And what else?
And here's the thing. Your concord, how you appeal to others, mattered to me.
Okay, so now that you 10 years strong, what experiences that you had to make you say attitude?
Merch.
Okay, so if you don't mind talking about that, I said
You did say that.
I saw Richard trying.
So now you said 10 years later it's about attitude. So what experiences have you had that made you choose attitude?
You know, I just think with that, you know, to be in a situation and feel like you're you know, you're smothered, you're boxed in, you don't have no room to move, and it's not so much of what you look at, it's just how y'all view each other. You know, I believe the right perception, I mean, when you can't change your situation, you need to change the way you look at it.
Yeah.
And if you look at me one kind of way, and that's the only way you see me, you got tunnel vision, you would never allow me to grow.
So in
I'm trying to say,
but
am I saying something?
No, I'm asking, and the reason why I'm asking
Am I
is
saying
that,
something?
right, yeah. So how does that equate to attitude? Then why does that equate to your attitude? Because I hear what you're saying, but I just
You say why does it equate to attitude?
The attitude part, because you said that they look at you one way, they box you in. How does that equate to attitude?
Because that's your viewpoint. See, here's the thing. The story.
So you're not talking about no stinking
No, I'm not
attitude?
talking about no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just talking about your total viewpoint. See, the story changes according to the point of view it's being read from. See, if you're reading me a certain way that I don't download, then you're gonna get a copy of me that's not who I truly am.
Yep.
See, the fly here it is. Can I talk to y'all? I'm talking to y'all. I don't want to keep talking to y'all.
No, I asked you because I'm gonna go to everybody.
I don't want to keep talking to you. Because here's the thing. My attitude is, your attitude is everything, James. It can be mean, it can be upset, it can be messed up, but guess what? Your attitude will change. I'm willing to work with that. Let's talk about that. Let's grow from that. But once you box me in, sir, once you have already, look, we have rolled past houses. Y'all can ride by a house on the street. That person you could have known could have been moved from there for 20 years. You would still equate that person to that house. You would say, oh, that's where Tony lived. Tony ain't been there in 20 years.
Gotcha.
But you still say that's the house Tony lived in. Why? Because we got a mindset. The box people, niggas, our attitude is not raised above what we continue to deal with every day. You got to constantly change. It is nothing worse. Take this, tweet this, Facebook this. It's nothing worse than to give a person something than they used to need.
Yep.
I like that. Okay.
God!
Cool. Okay, cool.
Good.
bro.
I can't
Dominique.
lie to that.
Dominique. So now we're gonna come to you. As you know, before we have a response, I want to go through everybody. So what was it?
You just gave me church. I like
Right, it's like church.
Yeah, okay.
Ask the question again at this
So
point.
let me see what the question is. Hopefully this is the one I picked up. That is not the one. That's
Right, I knew it. I was like, yeah, it's the one.
All right, so
I got you here.
I got it. Shante
What
was
is
on-
one thing? Thank you, Shante. Way
She was
to have my back. Because emotionally I was gone. So way to have my back. Way to have my back.
I stay focused for you.
One thing you find attractive that you didn't 10 years ago when it comes to the opposite sex.
Intellectual stimulation.
So what does that mean? Intellectual stimulation.
Fuck my brain.
Yes.
That's my body. Period.
So fuck your brain, not your body.
Talk to
Get
me.
it.
Let me get on the phone with you and we can have an hour-long conversation and it ain't just what you doing. Oh, okay. Well, what you about to do? Let me I like to talk. I'm a talker. So let me express myself and you express yourself and it makes some sense.
Hallelujah.
10 years ago, I didn't give a fuck. We was on the phone, breathing and sleep.
Okay. So 10 years ago, so 10 years ago, what is it that you look?
Freak my body, freak my whole body.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you're freaking my body, but it's just empty.
Oh, so because and is that why now you want intellectual stimulation?
Absolutely.
Because
At the end, I'm giving you my body, but what am I gaining other than that?
That's right.
so what you're saying is the reason because you felt empty. I'm not trying to say it was you just have meaningless sex, but that's what it really is. At the end of the day, so what you were saying was because you was having meaningless sex, that it got you to the point where you was like, you know what? I'd rather that man that I'm dealing with or women, but like I said, because we have a lesbian at the table, but that man or woman, you know what I mean, to tell you that
It was though. That was close to the Gale though. That was close.
listen. I did listen.
Hey, that was.
I knew. Listen.
Get it though. He wanted to get it. I tried to
Now listen. I did it. Now listen. Hold on. We ain't gonna edit that out. No, listen. Let me tell you something. I don't want to edit out because I did. To be honest with you, I did it for controversy. Just to let y'all know. Let me tell y'all something. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just drop it off.
So no, but like I was saying though, because of the intellectual stimulation, that's what you look on. That's what you're looking for now when it comes to a male, or you know what I'm saying, come to a male. That's what you want, and because of the meaningless sex that you've had in the past.
That's right.
It's like a bottomless pit. It just
Listen, you gotta.
Picture in front of the damn camera.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, ass shot over here.
You gonna edit it?
My bad. I'm trying to.
Help her out.
So like I was saying, because we're gonna edit this anyway. But like I was saying though, pretty much you did it because of the meaningless sex. So you wanted more out of your situation than just meaningless sex.
Absolutely.
And so that experience of meaningless sex led you to be more of an intellectual fucker.
Exactly.
You know that. Unique. And I was just joking. I'm sorry. So don't
No,
take
it's
that
okay.
out.
No, I'm
Okay. So Unique, I'm moving to you. What is it that you find? What's the question again? What is one thing that you find attractive that you did 10 years ago when it comes to
You gotta talk to me. Like I be telling.
Didn't even notice I did it.
Even my girlfriend now, I talk to her and I tell her like, you gotta talk to me. Like, even if you notice the smallest little thing. Like, hey, I saw you got your hair done. Yeah, it's just like, damn, baby, you look.
So you want to be noticed.
Good.
Is it talk to me or want to be noticed? That's the
No,
difference.
it's not one to be noticed, but
No, I'm not saying want to be noticed, but just acknowledge. Acknowledge that
just
something.
acknowledge the little things that I do. See, with me, it's the little things.
Right.
Like, if it's motherfucking Tuesday, and you feel like, oh, I love my babe, let me just, send her a text message to say, hey, I love you. That shit
So
makes
the
a
small
world of difference
gestures.
to me.
The small gestures.
It's just like, back then, I just wanted some dick. I'm like, you coming over? You coming over? What you gonna do?
So what got you away from that? Just wanting some dick or just moving to the small gestures?
just getting older in reality. Like, yeah, you realize that, like, at the end of the day, when you sitting there, you laying in your bed by yourself, you realize the things that you want. Like, I just want somebody to hold me, or I want somebody to let me know that I'm beautiful.
So
or I want somebody to let me know that they cherish everything that I've done.
So you're a hopeless romantic.
Or no, it's not even a hopeless romantic.
No, I'm not saying it in that.
Two fights on
Not in that sense, but you're romantic. You're romantic.
Yeah,
You're
I'm romantic. It's not even like a hopeless romantic, but it's romantic. Like to say, hey, babe, I noticed that new lipstick that you got. Like that shit looks.
So you like to see that? So you like to be acknowledged as the things that you've done.
Yeah, like because if like my thing is this: if you have gone 5 years without complimenting your girl, and then all of a sudden she comes back, if she got on new panties. You need to be like, bitch, what the fuck?
Yeah, I got you.
Like, what what you doing? But like, if you continue to do that to your girl, and I feel like it should be reciprocated.
Okay.
Like, if you come home and you got a fresh haircut, you should be like, damn, babe, like, what you doing?
I got you. I
Go
got
on with that haircut. But it should be like that consecutively. Every single time. You should notice those things about your partner, whether you cut your hair, whether you
You know what?
you know-
That I like that though.
yeah,
I
whether
ain't mean to
you
cut you off, but I
your
like
hair,
that. Like,
or whether you changed up the eyeshadow on your eye, it doesn't matter. Those things matter to me now. Back then, if you would have been like, oh yeah, you look good, the motherfucker, I'm like, okay. Where you going? Where you going? Where we going?
you know what? I do like what you're saying. I like because you're paying attention to me.
Exactly.
Being paying attention to is a lot. I get that because like
Exactly.
everybody wants to know that they're being paid attention to.
Exactly.
Like I said, so I understand that. That's dope. I like
Exactly.
that. I like
So
It's
that's
outside a relationship. There's other people paying attention.
exactly.
Hey,
That's
Kenny,
what my favorite
Hey, Kenny.
My favorite meme,
Absolutely,
my
you
favorite
gotta talk to that part.
meme is pay attention to your girl like the guys at the gas station do when she pumping her gas. Like, but that goes the same way with men. Like you should like if you just go to get like a taper, you take the shape up. I'll be like, damn, babe, you know I like that lineup that you got. All of that matters to me. It's not about whether you think I'm attractive or I'm the baddest bitch in the world, but it's all about the little things that I do, and that goes back to me saying when you have your queen. Like when you have your queen, you will notice those things. When you have your king, you will notice those things. You be like, damn, babe, I like them shoes that you picked up from
That's
Macy's.
dope. Okay, cool.
What
Paying
you
attention.
doing? What you doing? Just pay attention to me. That's my thing.
Shante.
Yeah, so first let me affirm that attitude, mental stimulation,
Yes,
affirming and seeing me and being noticed are all super important. I totally agree. I like those would be like number 2 right there, right? I think for me, something that I'm looking for now that I didn't look for 10 years ago is probably God. Like God.
That's big.
And
So why did you choose God?
Yeah.
To be honest, fully transparent, like I've been married, I've been divorced, and so I've gone through all of the layers of what you can give me. And fortunately, I was in a relationship after my marriage where I had the mental stimulation, but it was the avenue of the mental stimulation that I went down. And I realized that even though it was mental stimulation, it wasn't where I wanted to go. And so there's a part that you can't coach, you can't talk to about, you can't force somebody to go into. That's their own journey, that's their own choice, and I think that's God. And I think that when that shows up, then it's an extra there's layers that come off of you as far as like trust, and I don't mean just trust of like, are you sleeping with another bitch? I'm talking about trust as far as like, can I trust you with my emotions? Can I trust you to take the lead? Can I trust you to lean on you? And so I think that's a part that a woman can never give a man. I think that that's a part where a man has to choose and decide, is this the avenue that I'm going to go down and take my woman with me? And so when we
Talking over there. I'm sorry. Cause what's that? You talking over there?
and so
I was nobody talking. I got it.
And so while I promise you, I won't function if I don't get noticed. I won't function if I don't have mental stimulation. I won't function if the attitude is not right. But like beyond all of that, if you don't show up and God is leading you, then I don't know if I can even participate in these aspects.
Gotcha, man. I like that. Cool. Kenny, you.
I mean, I agree with all of them.
I think we're
Like-
just stacking them up around the table. And you got to add the cherry.
Like 10 years ago, you know how we was.
Yeah, man,
you know,
looking for the fat
everything was
button.
lust.
Tell us what we was looking for. I want to start there.
I mean, back in the day, if we had love,
There we go.
looking for the big
There
booty.
we go. Come on, Kenny. I step up to that.
I mean,
It's all right. We
lights in the
grown
face and
now.
everything.
Yeah, that's good.
But like now, that shit don't mean nothing.
Don't mean nothing.
It's more like she was saying, intellectual conversation. What's your goals? What's your aspirations? What things piss you off? I mean, just are you conscious of what's going on in the world? Like things like that. Like things I put a lot of weight. Yeah.
I guess on me having the last word of this conversation.
Bring it home with everybody.
You better bring it home.
You better start off with everybody. You gotta go around the
You
joke.
better put everybody at this
You
table.
gotta put the cherry, the sprinkles, and the syrup.
Okay.
Exactly.
Attitude. Intellectual
baby.
conversation.
Affirmations.
Affirmations. Acknowledgement.
Exactly.
God. intellectual conversation. For me, to be honest with you, younger me, I'm 36, so 26, listen for the fat butt, the big titty. Excuse my language. Fat butt, the big titty. Somebody,
y'all was doing everybody. Real quick, before you go, what were y'all looking for? Because y'all didn't say what y'all were looking for.
10 years ago?
No, they did. They didn't say that. She did. She did. Yeah. So Shante said,
what were you looking for?
I was looking for opportunity. Like, you got enough money to hold me down and buy my white picket fence and make my dreams happen. Like, that's what I was looking for. You ain't have to give me anything else. I'll find it in other places.
Right. So for me, it's like I said, of course, a quick fix. That was what I looked for in 26. At 26, a quick fix, a fat butt, big booty. If you gonna go before she gonna go, she won. She won. Point blank period. Now I still try to get through my. I still will try my hand with you. I will still try my hand with you. But I'm gonna come back.
On occasion, James is still revert to this.
Yeah, but let's say you might be right. We got like I said, but bringing it back in. If you were gonna go, no disrespect to y'all, but if you was gonna go first, I'm going with you, and I'll double back to you because eventually I get you. So at the end of the day, I get you. But now for me, I'm looking for substance. Woo! Come on, James. I'm looking for substance, man. I'm looking for
all of this.
I'm looking for substance. Like, the thing about it is, what people don't understand is, you could be a 10 on the outside, but what are you in the inside? But if you're a 5 on the inside,
and a 10 on the outside.
Yeah, or you're a 1 on the inside.
Come on, James.
You know what I'm saying? You 50%.
Come on, James.
That's still an E. So like I need that. Like you get beauties and all that, but I need brains. I need substance, financial responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I need that. What's your credit like? Yeah. If I'm like you said, we talked about emotions. So when I'm down and out, if I lose my job, can you hold it down? Can you look? Can you look out for me? When I'm going through my problems, when I'm going through my problems, like I said, substance. When I'm going through my problems, I'm going through my trials and my tribulations. Can you be there to have those conversations? Or when I come in and I need to decompress, you say, do your thing. I got you. Go take a hot shower. Or go get your drink. Go get your cigar.
If you want
know what I'm saying?
I got your book.
When I need substance. Like substance. Like what are you bringing to the table besides? What do you bring to the table besides your pretty eyes, your pretty face, your big breasts, your big butt? What are you bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? Your mouthpiece. What is it? What is it? What's your goals? What's your elevation? Like at the end of the day, what's your elevation? Like are you trying to elevate me as well? Like are we taking this trip to the top together?
And then sometimes your biggest substance is leaving me alone.
Leaving me alone. Like I said,
can you leave me alone?
This is my thing. And what he's saying, let me tell you something about that. That's how I feel about that when it comes to leaving me alone. If like you said, you find your king, you find your queen. You know everything, every single thing about me. I come in the house every day. It's a routine that I do. It's a habit I do. If I don't do that habit, then you already know something wrong with me. So if something's already off, give me my 10 to 15 minutes. Give me my 10 to 15 minutes. Can you not?
That's right. That's all.
Can you say, listen, babe, I trust you to move our unit in the right direction. Can you follow me without saying? And I don't mind, being you putting you're the leader, and I'm gonna follow your lead at all times because I know at the end of the day you got me. I know what I'm saying. But when you fall, don't worry because I got your back. So like listen, and substance. That's what I need because at the end of the day, because when I need that substance, I need that. I need you to bring. Like I need you to complete me, yin and yang. I need you to complete.
But it's funny though. It's funny.
Yeah, you can push back. I'm not expecting you to be everything, but I expect you to be everything. But I know that you're gonna have. I expect you to be my everything. I expect you to be my everything. Hold on, I expect you to be my everything. But it's gonna be ports in there that we need to change. It's gonna be things that we need to fix.
Is he saying everything you said in the last question?
Yeah, but we're not accepting that.
No, I'm saying we not accepting it.
Don't back
No,
off.
I'm not gonna back
Stay right
off.
where
I'm
you
sorry.
are.
I'm not gonna back off. Hold up. I'm expecting you to be. When I say I'm expecting you to be my everything, like I'm talking about totality. Like you know what I'm saying? Like why can't you be beauty? Why can't you be beauty and brain? Why can't you? You know what I'm saying? Hold it down. Why can't you hold your own? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you?
I agree. The only part that I was gonna add to was when you said.
It's okay. Come on back. It's okay. Come on back. You got it. I believe in you.
Yes,
See, I'm telegraphing.
Take your time. Take your time.
I'm telegraphing.
Sexual
I'm telegraphing.
No, but like I said though, for me, like I need something. I need somebody that's gonna help me a little bit. I need you.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, but you also have to show evidence that you can take the lead before we trust.
Right, and I get that, but let me tell you something.
Like you can't just go out there and be like, I'm the man, I'm gonna take the lead. Oh no.
You ain't listen. Right. When it come to me and I'm in that listen. When it come to me and I'm in that situation, you ain't never got to worry about that. Cause I'ma always make sure I got your back. I'ma always protect my women. Full transparency.
I'm gonna put 90% of men will say the same thing that you say, but in real time,
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I always tell you, I'm not gonna say that. I would say, but that you got to give me the room to fall and catch me. I'm not going to say I'm always going to do it. I'm not going to meet all these angles.
And that's what I think that I'm waiting to hear.
What I'm saying.
You got to give me room to fall and catch me.
But there's going to be like a fraction of it where you aren't going to do as well, and I'm waiting for you not to do as well, and I'm going to show you that I can do well.
But see, you know what? But hold up, before you, but listen, you're gonna show. Listen, but before you, why you say that? But that's when I come in and I step back and I'm listening and I'm hearing everything you say.
Exactly.
So I don't. That's what I'm saying. But like I said, we all hit bumps in the road, but that don't mean that I'm gonna go hard.
But you just have to show evidence that you can lead, because too many women lean in on men that actually can't do it.
So you're showing.
Sorry.
We have to wrap up, man.
Your showing part, like you say, when you step in, has to be in an assist role and not a lead.
Yeah. Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, assist me, but don't lead me. Because anything with
you. Listen, at the end of the day, wait, listen. We're going to have this conversation more off air, but let me say this, man. I appreciate you guys tonight, man. One more cheers to everybody that's on Drinks Entrees. You know what I'm saying? Emunique, Dominique, Pitt, Shante, Kenny, myself. It's a wrap. Thank you guys, man. Bar Drinks and Entrees, man.